According to data released by the FBI, hundreds of thousands of people go missing every year. This year, it's said that 540,000 people went missing. Today, let's look at some of these cases, and since they are fairly recent, hopefully this video will help spread information about their cases and help locate them. Starting off this countdown, we have Nicole Frenchmen. Nicole Frenchmen was last seen in downtown Edmonton, Canada on July 9th. A month later, a missing persons report was filed for her. Now, I'm not too sure why it took that long, but family and friends were concerned after she went that long without being in contact with them, and she hadn't been on social media at all. She was living with her friends at the time of her disappearance, so she didn't have a fixed address. After police interviewed her friends and family, apparently Nicole was last seen getting into a large, possibly gray pickup truck. But we still don't know why, who was driving that truck, and where she went. But police are finding this case suspicious, and after 3 months of her being missing, they are worried that she is dead. If you have any information on this case, please contact the Edmonton Police Service. Moving on to number 9, we have Louis Davila. In March of this year, 31-year-old Louis Davila decided to visit his girlfriend in Mexico. After spending time together, he decided to head back to his home in Bentonville. He left on March 29th, and that's the last time anyone has ever seen him. He was last seen wearing a white t-shirt and jeans, driving a silver 2016 Nissan Maxima. Had he drove straight from Mexico to his house without any lengthy breaks, the trip would have taken 15 hours. But alas, as time went on, he never returned home. Police believe that he was kidnapped on his drive home, but we don't know for sure. Louis and his car to this day have still not been found. Currently, the FBI are pursuing all leads and ask that anyone with any information call 1-800-CALL-FBI. Coming in at number 8, we have Mark Sweet. 58-year-old father Mark Sweet had some fun plans for the month of November. He had plans to meet his grandson and pick up a new puppy. 2 things that he was very excited for, and 2 things he didn't get the chance to do. Last anyone heard from him was on November 8th. He had spoke to his daughter Samantha Guest about the upcoming plans at around 9 a.m. that day. That was the last time anyone had heard from him. A few days went by and Samantha began to worry about her father. She said that he had taken days to himself before, but 3 days went by and they heard nothing. All their calls went to voicemail. No one knows what happened to him or where he is, and his family is worried sick. Any information on Mark's whereabouts, please contact the Ontario Provincial Police. In our 7th spot, we have Brian Bone. Brian Bone disappeared in November while celebrating his 24th birthday in downtown Orlando. According to friends, they went out for brunch for his birthday, and then afterwards they went to a couple of bars. The last bar they hit up was Swig's, and they left it around 7:30 that night. That was the last time anyone saw Brian. Brian was missing for about a week until his body was found. It was discovered by a paddleboarder out on Lake Ivanhoe on November 26th. Police identified it as Brian, but we still don't know what happened to him. Was he kidnapped and then tossed into the water? Did he get super drunk and fall into the lake? And why did his friends leave him at the bar? Like, I don't know about you, but I always make sure my friends have a way to get home. Anyways, it's sad that this case had to end like this, and so close to his birthday too. Moving on, at number 6 we have Taylor Pomaski. Earlier this year, Taylor Pomaski made the move from Florida to Texas for a new job opportunity. Months later, on April 23rd, Taylor posted on Facebook that she was in a relationship with a man named Kevin Ware, a former tight end for the San Francisco 49ers. 2 days later, she updated her status saying that she was married. Days later, she disappeared. Taylor was last seen at a party she threw in her home on April 25th. Since then, no one has seen or heard from her. Sadly, sheriffs believe that she is no longer alive at this point. So what happened at that party? And does her partner have anything to do with this disappearance? If you have any information on this case, please call the Harris County Sheriff's Office. We're now at our 5th and halfway mark with Glenda Parton, Dwayne Selby, and Jack Grimes. All these cases are connected, and you'll find out why. So on October 22nd, Dwayne and his friend Jack Grimes headed out to attend a horse show in Fort Worth, Texas. However, the men never arrived at the show. 3 days later, Dwayne's mom, Glenda Parton, went out searching for her son. On that day, she was seen on video with an unidentified man at a business. Then she disappeared without a trace. So she literally disappeared while looking for her son and his friend, who also disappeared. Could it be that the same person is behind all their disappearances? On October 26, Jack's car was found abandoned at the side of the road, and later his body was recovered. But Dwayne and Glenda are still missing. Anyone with information should contact the Tulsa Sheriff's Office. Moving on to number 4, we have Lateche Norris. Back in early November, Lateche Norris traveled from Indiana to California to be with her boyfriend and spend some time on the beaches there. However, on November 5th, shortly after arriving in San Diego, she called her mother on a stranger's phone in distress. She told her mom that she got in an argument with her boyfriend and that she didn't have access to her own phone anymore. Before hanging up, she promised her mom that she would call back. Sadly, she never did. On November 10th, Norris was reported missing, and since then her mom has been searching for her daughter all day and night. On top of that, no one has been able to get in contact with her boyfriend, Joseph or Joey Smith. What was the argument about? Did Joey kidnap Norris? If you know anything, please contact the San Diego Police Department. In our third spot, we have Elena Roy. On November 3rd, 83-year-old Elena Roy got in a heated argument with her husband. According to him, they were arguing about the placement of a picture frame. At around 1:30 that day, she stormed out of the house. That was the last time anyone had seen her. When she didn't return home hours later, he reported her missing and notified her family. As of now, there have been no signs of Elena, but her family is hoping for the best. What's weird is that the police conducted a huge search for her, which brought up nothing, making the case a little suspicious. Was foul play involved? Who knows? And police say they aren't ruling it out. Anyone with information about where she might be, please call the San Diego Homicide Unit. In our second spot, we have Ladexter, Pelt, and John Dubose Jr. These two Alabama friends headed out on November 4th to Sacramento on a trip to visit more friends. But after arriving in Sacramento, the two disappeared without a trace. The only thing police have been able to recover are their cell phones. Security footage shows the two getting into a dark blue 4-door sedan at the airport. After that, their whereabouts remain a mystery. After their family didn't hear from them for 2 days, they filed a missing persons report. On November 9th, police were able to track Pelt's phone to a Super 8 motel, and John's phone was found by a bridge by a hunter. Obviously, the police searched both areas, but this sadly came of nothing, and they still don't know any information on the car that picked them up from the airport. Anyone with information about their whereabouts is asked to call the Gridley Police Department. And in our number 1 spot today, we have Heidi Planck. On October 17th, 39-year-old mother Heidi Planck went missing in downtown Los Angeles. That day, she was captured on video walking her dog in the area. Her dog was later found on the 29th floor of a high-rise apartment building. Heidi was nowhere to be found. A month later, her car was found in a different residential parking garage, several blocks away from the apartment where her dog was found. As of November 29th, an apparent lead has led officers to a landfill in the area, but they have not released any suspect information or details on what led them to that landfill. But police claim they found forensic evidence from one of the apartments that suggests that Heidi was killed. So maybe they had a lead that her body was buried in this landfill. I just hope they get justice for Heidi. Any information can be directed to the Robbery Homicide Division of LA. Alright guys, since this was a pretty heavy and serious video, I'm not going to be doing comment shoutouts, but I hope you guys stay safe. And with that being said, I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan, and I'll see you when I see ya.